One of the most frequent questions asked is, why is my vehicle not selling well?
The information is right there in the game. It's in the Wealth Distribution and Buyer Rating Table report.
But you must use the dynamically generated report system to access it.
So how do you view this report? No matter if you use the mega menu or the world map, you can find the dynamically generated report button next to where you enter the price of a vehicle in the branch distribution system. For this example, we'll use the mega menu.
First, you must select the city or district you want to query. Next, you need to select the vehicle you want information on.
The report will use the price entered in the text box. Let's leave it at the current price for now.
Finally, we click the dynamically generated report button to make the report. The first thing you'll see is the wealth distribution graph.
This graph displays the wealth distribution of the selected city.
It also shows the economic demographics that would be interested in buying your vehicle based on the price. At the top is an estimation of all people interested in buying a vehicle at this price.
This value comes from your vehicle price and the wealth distribution of the city. It is not the number of people wanting to buy your vehicle. It is just the number of people in this wealth range interested in purchasing a vehicle. This value is also not the number of people who will buy vehicles. Many potential customers will not buy anything. Let's look at the graph.
The dark blue line graph is the number of people interested in buying a car at a specific price point.
You can hover over the points to get the specific dollar and population size values.
The bright green bar graphs are the number of people interested in buying a vehicle around the price point of your selected model. Your vehicle is too expensive for the dark blue area to the left of the bars,
and your vehicle is too cheap for the areas to the right of them. The number of bars change based on your marketing and image ratings.
The better your marketing or image ratings are, the more bars you'll have, thus more people willing to pay out of their price zone for your vehicles.
Use this graph to help visualize what price changes do to the number of people able to purchase the vehicle. Wealth is highly skewed. There are significantly more people who make less than the per capita income than make more. If you're looking to produce a mass production, high-volume vehicle, you are better off reducing the price as much as possible to sell to the greatest number of people. Increasing marketing will also help you cover a greater share of lower-income people.
On the flip side, if you're producing a luxury vehicle, your unit costs most likely exceed the low end of this graph.
You can use the graph to see how high you can push your prices before the lack of possible customers exceeds the increased margins.
Scrolling below this graph, you'll find the buyer rating table. In short, the game breaks down your vehicle offerings into a buyer rating. It then uses this buyer rating to compare against other vehicles of the same class, target demographics, and economic demographics. We then distribute sales based on this buyer rating and a few additional details. The table you see here is nearly the entire buyer rating calculations. It breaks down each part of the formula line by line. It also displays the numbers for your selected vehicle and the summation of the buyer rating at this point in the formula. With this, you can go line by line and see what is affecting your buyer rating negatively, and correct it in your next designs.
We will go over a short example in this video.
For a complete overview, see the buyer rating table breakdown tutorial video or refer to the manual. Looking at the first column of the first row, we'll see luxury image, plus workmanship, plus racing, plus global image times 5.
Each of these variables is your company image rating.
We add luxury, workmanship, and racing together, and then they're added to the product of global image and 5.
We write your values in the second column.
In our case, 16.79, plus 14.85, plus 13.32, plus 14.88, 5. The last column is the buyer rating after we add this line of the formula to the previous row's buyer rating. In this case, there is no previous row, so the buyer rating is 0.
0 plus 119 equals 119. That is your buyer rating after this row.
Moving to the next row, we have 1 plus vehicle type cargo rating times vehicle cargo rating times 5.
The first variable is your vehicle's cargo rating. The next variable is the weighted rating for the vehicle type.
You see these in the designer as important stars. For example, vans have high cargo important stars, and microcars have less than one important star in cargo.
In the second column are your numbers for this row of the formula. Our vehicle has a 29 cargo rating.
Sedans have a 0.5 importance to cargo. Plugging those numbers into the formula gives us 29 times the sum of 1 plus 0.5 times 5. The last column of the row adds the numbers from the second column to the buyer rating in the previous row.
In this case, 119. Therefore, 119 plus the sum of 29 times the sum of 1 plus 0.5 times 5 equals 336.
Our buyer rating after the end of the second row is 336.
These operations repeat down the table.
The last table in this report is an estimation of your sales after processing all buyer ratings from all vehicles of this type in this selected city.
In the first column is the vehicle. The second column is the estimated sales. And the last column is the calculated buyer rating. The numbers you find here are very close to final sales at the end of the turn. In summation, use the wealth graph to help you visualize the price of your vehicle and the number of people that can afford it. Use the buyer rating table to see where your vehicle design is weak.
The table also helps to see if there are any flaws in your design, such as being too old or slow.
And it helps to see the effects of your actions, such as redesigning branches, increasing marketing, changing the price, etc.
And finally, the estimated sales table is a good guess at how many sales you'll get next turn.
Use it to adjust production if you are manually controlling it. And use it to see the effects of your actions, such as changing the price, have on your vehicle's sales numbers.